Hello everyone! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. I wanted to speak to you in this video about something very abstract. Actually, I've been noticing that I'm doing a lot of abstract videos. I hope you guys like them though. I've noticed that recently I've become a little bit obsessed with near-death experiences, NDEs as they're called. I'm sure you have all read about them as well, considering that a lot of us are INFJs here, and a little bit obsessed with death. I'm sure a lot of you have looked into near-death experiences. So basically, near-death experiences are, experiences of people who have nearly died. So, they've died, their heart stopped, and their, brain patterns or brain waves have gone, and they've been dead for clinically dead, I guess, for a few minutes, few seconds at a time, and they go into that void, that place where we go, where we die, and they're called into the light, or they meet up with some random guardian angels or spirits or things like that, and then that they're told that it's not their time to go, and then they come back and they are resuscitated and they're alive again, right? But a lot of them actually, when they're resuscitated or they're alive again, they actually still remember those moments when they were dead for those few moments, and then when they had those experiences with that guardian angel or that spirit or God or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, whatever experiences they had. And there's many hundreds of thousands of these experiences that have been shared and marked down and written down about online, and so you can go and read about it. I think Raymond Moody is one of those people who does a lot of this kind of stuff, but there's loads of past life regression stuff as well, and a lot of regression into the void, into that middle zone between lives, and there's a lot of information online about this stuff, which is fascinating to me because I think this is essentially a lot of what human beings wonder about all the time. We're always constantly thinking, okay, so if I die, what happens to me then? Right? I mean, even babies or children, not babies, but children will ask this question, what happens after we die? What happened to grandmother? Where is she now? She's up in the heavens. Where is heaven? What's she doing there? Why is she there? Like, why does that happen? Why can't we just stay here forever? And so, in a lot of cases, human beings are fascinated, enthralled, just absolutely interested in the idea or in figuring out, what happens after you die. And it's interesting to me because I really feel that these near-death experiences, these past life regressions, these hypnotic things where they kind of take you into these middle zones between lives, really provide the answer to that question, what happens after I die, right? And so of course I'm fascinated by that stuff, and I read a lot about it, and I've shared books on it with you guys. I'll share a book today as well in the description below that you should check out if you're interested in reading more about it. Of course, there's videos online about it by Raymond Moody, by Dolores Cannon. There's loads of these out on YouTube, so you can just check that out if you're not interested in books. But my main thing about it, the reason I'm doing this video today, is one of the things that comes up constantly in these conversations with people in NDEs or in past life regressions or in these hypnotic states, is that they're constantly talking about the fact that once they died, or they went into that dead state, that zone, they noticed that the guardian angel or the spirit was able to show them basically kind of like a fast forwarded track of their life, right? And this is what we constantly imagine as human beings. We'll die, and in that moment we'll see our life flash before our eyes. All of the things that we've done in our lives will flash before our eyes, and we'll see everything that we've done, everything good we did, everything bad we did, all the terrible things we did, all the terrible people that we met, and things, how we were saved and not saved, things like that, right? And it's actually pretty common in these NDEs for people to say, I did have that flashback, and the person, the guide or the spirit showed me my life, and they showed me hundreds of ways, dozens of hundreds of ways where I was protected by these guardian angels or these spirits. So the possibility was that this person could have died many times before, right? Like we don't have just 9 lives, but apparently we have hundreds of these lives, because throughout your lifetime there's many different ways that you could have potentially died. You could have died when you were 3 years old when you had the flu, or you could have died when you were 5 and you followed that stranger to their car but someone distracted you, or you could have died when you were 6 and you were walking on the street and you didn't realize that there was a car on the street. but the driver caught himself in time and was able to swerve around you, you know? And so things like that, they kind of were shown throughout their life. Each and every time they were protected and saved from all of those instances where they could have potentially died, but they didn't because they were saved. These unseen forces, these guardian angels in the background, these spirit guides in the background, the universe in the background, the gods that we pray to in the background, the goddesses that we pray to in the background, they're all in the background making sure that we get to the end of wherever we're supposed to get to, right? And we're not supposed to be dead yet. You still have more time, so you can't die yet. And so they're protecting us constantly. And it's kind of fascinating to me, at least, whenever I'd read these accounts, I would have tears in my eyes, because I'd literally be sitting there thinking, how benevolent, how beautiful, how compassionate is this world that we live in, this universe that we live in, that, you know, if it's not our time, we don't die. They'll just take care of it, and they take care of us and make sure that we're still alive. And always makes me cry, but it always makes me wonder also, you know, I always think about my own experiences where I know that there are many instances in my life where I could have potentially died, but I didn't, because the guardian angels, the spirits were behind in the background working so that I would not die. There were many cases in my childhood when I was a very rambunctious, rebellious child, and I would just roam around on my own by myself. Since the age of 3, I'd go off on my own and I'd just walk around. And I was a baby, I was a child, toddler, right? But nothing ever happened to me. Nothing ever happened to me. No one ever touched me inappropriately at that time, at least. The first time I was touched inappropriately was when I was 10 or 11. So for those 7 or 8 years, I walked around all the time by myself, doing all these things, meeting all these random people, going into their homes, getting candy, getting chocolate bars, getting chips, and getting all of these snacks. And nothing ever happened to me. Nothing. I mean, nothing ever happened. I was fine. I was safe. I'd come back home safe and sound, happily having told them that I made a new friend. And I always think about those moments. And even now, you know, when I went to travel through India and through Asia, I traveled for 9 months there and 10 months there and 9 months through Central and South, Central America and Mexico. And all of these experiences, I would go into random people's homes. You know, they'd invite me and say, oh, you want to come for dinner? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And I'd be by myself, a random little girl, roaming around the world by herself, going into random people's houses, and never did anything happen to me. I would stay in their homes, they'd give me amazing food, they'd take care of me, they'd love me, and never did they hurt me, never did they touch me inappropriately, never did they ever do anything inappropriate to me. They just gave with love, you know. Of course, that also proves the fact that the world is good, mostly 99% good. There's a little bit of bad, but most people are good. But it also shows me that, you know, a lot of things could have happened, but never did, because I was protected. I was safe. I was saved many times, I'm sure. Many times I remember, you know, driving very fast and suddenly realizing, oh my God, I think I'm going to hit this person. And all of a sudden, that person either speeds up or moves or changes his lane so that I don't hit them. Or I've been in situations where I was riding my motorbike in Thailand where I would pull into a lane and suddenly realize, oh shoot, the truck behind me is driving way too fast. He's going to hit me. And then I look behind me and there's no one there. There's no truck. He's moved on to a different lane, and he's just not there anymore. He's gone somewhere else. And I always think of those moments and I think to myself, the guardian angel, she just protected me, or he just protected me, or they just protected me. I don't know what they're doing in the background. I have no idea. Of course, until I go to that moment in time when I die and I'm able to look back, I won't know exactly how they saved me. And I'm sure there's many more instances of points in time when they saved me that I don't even have an idea of, right? I mean, I've done a lot of crazy things in my life, as has everyone else. And so really, I just wanted to share this with you because obviously there's a lot of things that we don't know of, right? You know, we're like roaming around with blinders on our faces and our heads and our senses. We think that we know a lot. We don't. And there's all these things happening in the background that we're not even aware of. That are happening because the universe loves us, because they want to protect us, they want to save us. But all we can do in all of this time is just complain about all the bad things that are happening in our lives. Not realizing that, you know, while we're complaining about all these bad things, the universe is constantly protecting us, constantly taking care of us, constantly making sure that we don't die earlier than we're meant to. Constantly making sure that we're safe and sound and healthy and happy and all of those things, right? Again, this just proves to me the value of gratitude, because more and more so I realize that there's a lot of things that I'm grateful for that I know of, but there's a lot of things that I should be am grateful for that I don't know of. You know, I'm sure the universe is protecting me right now in this moment in time as well, but I don't know that it's doing that. But I'm still grateful to the universe for showing me that love, for protecting me, for just being there for me all the time, constantly on a daily basis, on a moment by moment basis. I love it so much. So I wanted to share this with you because, of course, first of all, I love the idea if you actually read these books and, kind of got into the NDEs as well, because it's such a good way of learning about death and about the fact that, life is very short. But also appreciating the universe, appreciating its love for us, appreciating that it's always there for us, appreciating all the guardian angels and spirits that are probably still around me right now and protecting me in some shape or form. I'm sure you're gonna think this is a very crazy abstract video, but hopefully you kind of got it. If you didn't, message me and maybe we can have a conversation about it. If you don't believe it, obviously skip the video. Just forget about it completely. I'll share links of the books that I think you should read below, but mostly read the books by Dolores Cannon and Raymond Moody, and they're also on YouTube, so you can just go check those out. All right? Perfect. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being on my channel. I'm so grateful, and I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.